Here at Stealthy Wood Inc., we're facing a new challenge. We want to stabilize our cash flow. However, getting our invoices paid is often harder than it should be. For example, some of our customers have a very slow and unreliable accounting process. Due to that, they can take a while to pay us. A customer even lost his invoices from us in a pile of magazines, even though he planned to do the payment that very day. What bad luck. Luckily, though, with Odoo Accounting, it's very easy to do follow-ups on unpaid invoices. I decided to run my follow-ups once a week after I make sure that all bank statements and payments have been reconciled. This way, I'm not sending an email or a letter to a customer who's already paid. Even though it might not be the most pleasant part of my business, it's something that shouldn't be overlooked. The first thing to do is to make sure that my payment terms are correctly set up, as we've seen in another video. With brief payment terms, my customers probably won't put my invoices on the pile of payments to do later, but will rather pay directly. Incentives and late payment fees are also quite useful for getting paid on time. But even then, delays can happen, and I know there's nothing wrong with politely reminding my customers to pay us for the good work we do at Stealthy Wood Inc. This way, I can keep my cash flow stable and make sure we also have constantly enough money to pay our suppliers and employees on time. So let's see how we can handle follow-ups with Odoo. All right, here I am on my database for my company, Stealthy Wood Inc. Let's first jump into the accounting module, and then we're going to create a new invoice by clicking on the New Invoice button. From here, let's choose our customer, and of course, the product as well. And I'm also going to say when the customer needs to pay, or by when they need to pay. All right, so within 15 days. Okay, and as you can see, that will automatically change the due date here. And we're actually also going to make the invoice date earlier than today, which is April 11th, because I want to show you what will happen when the payment is overdue. So let's go ahead and select March 5th. Okay, then the due date becomes March 20th, and we're going to validate this. Once it's validated, let's go ahead and look at the contact template by clicking on our customer's name. All right, so here we are on the contact template. If I look at the top, I'm going to see the amount that they owe me. So what's due? Now, when I click on this, I'm going to have the possibility to send them a reminder email for this payment. As we can see, they have one invoice. If there are multiple, they will be listed here. We see the due date of the invoice, or the date of the invoice, and the due date for the payment as well, which was March 20th, and it's in red because it's overdue. All right, then we also have other information here as well. So I do want to send them a reminder email, okay? If I want to change the body of the email, I simply have to click, and then I can modify it. So I can say, best regards, Amy Caroline from Stealthy Wood Inc. All right, just like that. I'm going to save this because I'm going to use it again later. All right, and then we can save. And then we can either print, which will generate a PDF, okay, or we can send by email. So let's go ahead and do that right now. And I see that my email was successful. If I scroll down and look at the chatter, I can see that here as well, that I just sent an email. All right, so that's really cool. As we can see, we can also make this automatic. Okay, so right now, if I have auto selected, then I'm going to see that the next reminder date will be on the 25th of April. All right, something else that's really cool from here is we can also mark if they are a good debtor or not. So we see this little gray dot. If I hover over it, I'll see that they are a normal debtor. If I click on it, then I can say if they are a good debtor or a bad debtor. So let's go ahead and say they're a good debtor. All right, even though their payment is late, that's okay. We're forgiving. So let's go ahead and mark this as done, or I can select remind me later. But now I'm going to mark it as done. Okay, good job. We get a little smiley here. Now what we're going to do is go to configuration settings, and we're going to activate another option. So let's scroll down to the customer payment section, and we're going to activate follow-up levels. So we can use follow-up levels and also schedule actions. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and select this. Now, once I click on save, I'm going to come back to this page in order to set up the feature. So let's go ahead and save and just wait a moment while the setting loads. And once it's done, we're going to go back to this page. Okay, and scroll back down to the customer payment section and go ahead and click on this button, follow-up levels. All right, so once we're here, we're going to see all of our follow-up actions. Okay, so we have our first reminder email, second reminder email, and more. We also see when the action will happen and also what it is. So send an email, print a letter, send a letter, or even if there's a manual action type. So let's go ahead and edit one. We're going to click on the edit button. We're going to edit our first reminder email. However, if we would like to create a new one, we simply have to add a line right here. So let's go ahead and say first reminder email. Okay, so first of all, we'll say after how many days that it's overdue that we'll do the following actions. If you want to send a reminder before the due date is reached, you can simply put a dash before the number of days, just like that, or minus. Okay, so here we say we're going to send an email, print a letter, and I can also say manual action as well, which is what I'm going to do. Once I select this option, I have some additional fields here. I can assign a responsible if I would like to. It's not mandatory though. However, I do need to say the action type. So in this case, it's going to be to do. Okay, and then I need to say the action as well. So I'm going to say check if paid. All right, and then we can scroll down. If we're sending a letter or an email, we can change the template if we would like to. So I'm going to go ahead and paste what I copied earlier. So best regards, Amy Caroline from Stealthywood Inc. All right, and then we're going to go ahead and save this and then click save again. Okay, we really want to be sure that everything is saved here. Then we're going to go back to our accounting overview and create a new invoice. Okay, so I'm going to do that simply with the same customer. Okay, and I'm just going to duplicate it. We're going to duplicate, and then we're going to validate. But first, of course, I need to add that invoice date in the past. So let's say the 5th again. All right, looks good. We're going to validate this. Okay, again, if I click on the customer, I'm going to see the amount that's due. But let's go to customers and then follow-up reports right here. All right, so once I click on this, I'm going to see all of the customers or all of the invoices that are in need of action. Okay, so first of all, I have the total that's overdue and also the follow-up status as well. So I see if it's with overdue invoices or if it's in need of action. So let's go ahead and select our customer right here, go to action, and we're going to click on Process Follow-Up. Now, once we do that, it's going to generate a PDF for me right here, which I can go ahead and check out. All right, I see that now it includes both invoices. Okay, so both invoices that I created. All right, now if I go and click on the customer, so let's go back. Okay, I'm going to check out what I have here. If I scroll down in the chatter, I see that the follow-up letter has been printed. Okay, so when I process that, the history is here in the chatter. And then I can also see that action that we created in our follow-up levels. So I need to check if it's paid, and that's due today. All right, so these are just a lot of really great ways to be sure that your customers pay on time, which is both good for you and your customers. All right, and you can do this every day, week, or month, preferably after reconciling the payments, just to make sure that the status of the invoices are up to date and you don't send a follow-up message or letter to a customer who's already paid. That might be embarrassing. That's all for this video. Thank you for watching.